Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Today we have got with us Jen, not Doc, Manda, Badger, and Scummer. And not that any of you can see this, right, but all the guests can. Why the hell is that not flickering?
You probably broke it.
I think I might have done.
You broke it, Dave. I'm glad it's not flickering. Why don't you enlarge yourself
and see how much you broke it?
Say that again, Jen.
Oh, it seems to be working alright on the stream. You may not have broken it.
Fine.
Right, okay, let's try it as it's meant to work. How's that look?
Oh, that's brilliant. It works perfectly.
Why don't we have this all the time, Dave?
Because it flickers like buggery for you. Normally.
You're like upset about the fact that it's not fucking flickering right now, so that we can actually see you for the first fucking time. Stop being a bitch about it.
Right. First question. A really fun one to start things off.
Fuck me.
Okay.
Question 382.
If you insist, Amanda, I'll get the strap on now.
Shh.
Damn it, Jen.
Look, we're a long way away and don't know that well.
They make sticks. Right, question 300. What?
Oh, sorry. I've opened. For some reason, instead of opening Twitter, I keep opening the stream again in a new tab.
That's fine. Keep opening the stream in new tabs. That works for me.
I've just done it 3 times in a row trying to open Twitter.
Right. Question 382. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you at a funeral?
Oh. Okay, I had my aunt, who's aunt by marriage, married my uncle, come up to me and my siblings and say, this is for my father's funeral. Come up to us and say, thank you all so much for coming. He would have greatly appreciated it.
That's odd.
Yeah, she's an odd woman. And I was like, what the fuck? How does that work?
So,
yeah, you're all trying to process that, aren't you?
So, right, hang on. Who said this to who?
My aunt, who's my aunt by marriage, so the wife of my dad's brother, at my dad's funeral, comes up and says to me and my siblings, my 2 sisters and my brother, thank you all so much for coming to the funeral. He would have greatly appreciated it. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I mean, what the hell? It's not like she doesn't know who we are. She's like, what?
That's just weird.
Yeah, it is. It's mental, if anything. I'm sorry, people don't like it when I say that. It's crazy.
How is that different?
That'll be the next one.
Because
Julie's answer. A bee flew at a mourner who screamed and I got sent to the car for laughing.
I would have laughed too.
Yeah.
Alright, so I was at a funeral a while ago. And it was a cremation. And it was for someone who was kind of like a friend of a family that my family is kind of friends with. I didn't really know the person very well. So I'm sitting there in the funeral, and right as it was the vicar doing it, so as he says, may the grace of God enfold you. As soon as he says enfold, curtains started drawing around the coffin. And I'm just there watching, and he says enfold, and the curtains move, and I realise he's done this deliberately. The curtains move as he says enfold. I was just sitting there going,
oh yeah.
Jeff. Who's echoing?
There's nothing really I can think of. Who's echoing here? There we are. No, honestly, I can't really think of anything like sort of humorous has ever happened at any funeral I've been to. Thing is, obviously, like, want to plan something humorous for mine, but the problem is I won't be there to have a laugh at it. Or I will be there, but I won't be conscious to have a laugh at it.
You could have a laugh anyway. That would freak out the guests.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah.
A laugh box in the.
Well,
coffin.
there was that. I mean, there was that thing recently. I think it was in Ireland somewhere where the guy had set up a speaker in his coffin or whatever. So they lowered it into the ground. He's like starts, help! Let me out! Let me out! It's fucking dark in here.
You should get a pre-record yourself. You should pre-record yourself saying that and laughing maniacally. Get one person, have in your will that only one person is allowed to be aware of this. Have a Bluetooth speaker put in your coffin.
I would love to do that. Gary said, a friend whose mother passed remarked at the funeral that I was more upset than he was. I think visibly upset, that's not rare. Amanda?
I don't know. At my grandmother's funeral, I only really had one grandparent because her husband died when my mother was young, and my father's parents were not. Well, my grandmother was not. So she disowned us twice, and I only saw them twice my whole life, so I didn't really have them.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a real contentious relationship with my grandmother. She's the one who threatened me, when I was getting confirmed and stuff. She was. So I had an edible at her funeral, and it was just, I was just, because I was angry and I didn't want to be angry there. So
yeah,
I remember leaving and telling little toddler Angel, "Let's blow this popsicle stand," because I was so stoned. So yeah,
that was pretty good.
Excellent. Right, next question. Question 383. What hotly anticipated event or moment was the biggest letdown?
New Star Wars films.
Oh, come on, Badger. They were much better than that.
Were they? You think it was hotly anticipated?
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
It was. You got to give him that one, I think.
I was really looking forward to there being new Star Wars things, and I went in there. I was willing to give them a chance to do well, and they just didn't.
Manda.
The last season of fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one.
You see,
I don't remember his name, but seriously, I have like a fucking Game of Thrones altar with all the little things that Angel had gotten me, like the long sword and everything, music boxes and stuff. I loved that show, loved the books, and they fucked up the last season so fucking bad it broke my heart. So, yeah.
I know this is kind of a problem with the source material as well as the TV series.
Though.
No,
that's the problem. And Dave and DB fucking suck. They're bad producers. The only reason the first part of the show was good was because of the source material.
Right. You think that was a bigger disappointment than the Second Coming?
We haven't had a Second Coming. I don't think we had a First Coming, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
The point being, it spawned the big thing that was in the end of the 1800s, right? And it spawned multiple religions. This failure for him to come back on a specific date.
See, I was going to, well, yeah. I mean, how many times did the JWs get it wrong before they finally just decided to stop making predictions?
Well, they were one of them, weren't they? They were one of the ones that spawned off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're all taking the thing of what thing is the personal letdown to us.
Yeah.
Not other people. Screw other people. Just because it let them down doesn't mean it was to us.
But this wasn't a question about you.
I'll say.
Well, we've taken it that way.
Why are you asking us then and not everyone else?
There's two answers I could give to this. Year 2000, for the millennium. I'd give
What
that
was that?
one. I mean, what was it?
You
Reece?
mean the Millennium Bug? That nothing happened.
That nothing happened with, and
Yeah, there's a reason nothing happened.
yeah.
Yeah, because people
Billions of us put a lot of work in to make sure it didn't happen.
Well,
And,
wasn't it? It was just kind of we haven't allocated enough memory for the clocks, so we'll just do that, and then the problem's not a problem anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that required changing a whole heap of hardware and software.
Yeah, but that was already done, like way in advance of the millennium. They all just went, "Oh, that could be a problem if we don't do these changes. So let's just do them."
To be fair, they only started doing the changes like 5 or 6 years before the event.
Yeah,
So
but
there
that's
was
fine.
the possibility that some systems would be forgotten that were critical.
Oh, some systems were forgotten that were critical.
So that
Yeah.
the other one I give, this 2012 Mayan apocalypse.
Oh, I had a great time with that.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, but that was never meant to be an apocalypse. It was a calendar rollover. That's all it
It's
was.
just the calendar ran out.
Yeah.
No, I had a great time with that. I was there all dressed up in my favourite clothes with a glass of whiskey, just like, the world's going to end. And then it didn't. I was like, oh, that's great. I can finish my whiskey.
the only good thing about it is that at the very minute it was supposed to happen, I was just listening to the radio and the DJ decided to put on "End of the World as We Know It" by REM. Very damn good.
I do like that song.
I think I put on the final countdown, actually.
Spooky says, this quiz. Julie says Star Wars Episode 1.
Was this quiz ever really hotly anticipated, though?
No. Nerdy says, the endings of Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Gary says, the end of the Mayan calendar. He then says, is anyone going to say sex? So Godless Granny says sex.
Actually, yeah.
Sex in general or sex with someone in particular?
Just in general.
I think in general it's disappointing.
Every fucking one in society really builds it up, and then if you're awkward with just being physically near someone, it's just awkward. You're there and you're like, oh, this is fun. Oh, hang on, the person's looking at me, and now suddenly the mood's gone.
But sometimes.
He started to flash again.
How hotly anticipated is it? Is the issue.
Well, the flashing's been anticipated since we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big disappointment, Dave.
On the Game of Thrones thing, though, I know this is a problem with the source material, as well as the series, but I had an issue staying invested in it when, every week, or every couple of weeks, they'd get me invested in one of the characters and then just kill them. I was there going, I was watching for that guy, so now I've got to find someone else to watch for. There's like a list of 5 characters I'm watching this show for, and you've killed 4 of them. It is a big risk for me emotionally staying invested in this show.
If we're going to talk TV shows, the last 2 episodes of Doctor Who.
Well, I'd say the last series of House of Cards was fucking awful, but then of course the main character had to be written out for some fairly obvious reasons. Yes.
How about all of Breaking Bad?
Come on, Jen, you're just trying to fucking rile me
I
up.
haven't actually seen
I'm
it.
not. I don't like the show.
Then you're an idiot.
I haven't seen it.
I would wear that.
Goddamn genius. Shut
Jen,
the fuck up.
Is it a show that I should
Manda,
watch?
Manda, Jen is entitled to her opinion, even though she is objectively wrong.
It is.
Is it a show that I should watch?
Yes, absolutely. And Better Call Saul. It is.
Oh.
Seriously.
Sorry.
It is
I will
just
stop talking about it.
His writing is perfect. The scenery is perfect. Everything is fucking perfect. You have to watch it. Good. Good. Bryan Cranston, brilliant.
Got it. What's the question? Hotly anticipated things about that.
Yes.
I'd actually go with Sammy's fan fiction.
If that's not finished yet, we don't know if it's going to be a disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, it's so far it seems to be.
That's the hype, though. You're going to
Yeah,
sell it. You've got to get the hype up.
Yeah.
Oh, No Man's Sky is that game.
Oh yeah, that was crap.
Yeah, a friend of mine was playing that, and I'd kind of read the description of what it was supposed to be, and then just listened to him telling me about him playing it, and just going, so it doesn't do any of that stuff? He's like, no, it doesn't do that. But, what's the fucking point there?
Tom says, not one of you said the Brexit or Brexit vote. We haven't failed it yet.
We're still
Give it
waiting
time.
for that to finish. It's on hold.
It's on hold.
In 100 years' time, this country will still be asking for an extension or something, you know.
Oh, somebody wrote the Brexit extension, going to ask for a new extension to the Brexit negotiations into the 40k universe.
Yeah.
It's just that nobody remembers who the Kingdom of Great Britain was, or what the European Union was, or what Brexit was, but they still have the tradition of going to ask for an extension 40,000 years in the future.
Yes.
Mm.
I think Sammy's a bit upset with my answer.
I think it's going to become a collaboration between Sammy and Nerdy. In full.
Yeah?
Nerdy's just got too many good ideas. Rennie says, the release of Assassin's Creed Unity. Godless Scummer says, I need a new content creator for your scene. Jen is out.
All the Assassin's Creed ones were a bit of a letdown for me.
Don't think I've ever played Assassin's Creed.
I'm curious as to what the scene was going to be now, but I've got a feeling I'm going to regret asking that question.
I'm sure there'll be more details.
There we go. There could be my answer then, and hotly anticipating this fan fiction, which I'm sure will be a disappointment.
That's what I said.
All the Assassin's Creeds were a disappointment to me. I was there, I was interested because I'm an assassin back in history, running around parkouring around historic monuments, and then it keeps just flipping me to this fucking dickhead sitting in a future prison cell wearing a shit hoodie. I don't give a shit about Desmond. Go back to parkouring off the fucking Eiffel Tower or whatever.
I'm imagining a shit hoodie now. And how does that work?
Drag me out of the fucking action and then just bore me until I can figure out how to make it go again.
I enjoy those games, but I think it's universally agreed those bits with Desmond or whoever else it might be, just do not need to be there.
I didn't get through the first game because I just couldn't. Every time it went to Desmond, I just lost any interest in the game whatsoever. I was there. I was like, oh.
I had that problem with Grand Theft Auto, whichever the current one is.
I
didn't
would
like
be dropping the
playing
link to the stream in the chat, Dave. Not
I'm
after
not worried.
yesterday.
No,
Trust the people that are going to connect, rather than.
Dave doesn't know. Dave doesn't know them. They don't come in us, but none of us know them.
I
think that was a mistake I made yesterday.
Right. Next question, I think. You're a very disappointed lot. Although not with anything big, all with minor and media things.
I try not to just get involved with anything big.
2 seconds.
I try not to.
Oh, where'd Amanda go?
She had to go do something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I try not to put any stock in big historic events because they're always going to be disappointing.
Yes.
I was hoping somebody would disagree.
No. Give me a second. I'll read the next one. I'll read the next question.
See, I suppose you could argue that the moon landing, was something that lived up to its billing, but I probably wasn't there. I wasn't there at the time to sort of know whether that was how people felt about the anticipation.
What about the original launch of the Hubble Space Telescope? I mean, they launched this beautiful thing into space, and
that was a big and the cost of it as well.
That was a huge, and it cost a fortune to fix it.
For the sake of a little measuring stick.
Yeah. Oh, and in the same vein, what about the polar probes that they sent to Mars?
Beagle.
Yeah, I'm Beagle. Yeah,
the British one that smashed into it. Oh no, they reckon that landed now.
Come on, guys. You know the difference between metric and imperial. Don't mess this easy shit up.
I mean, I could come up with dozens and dozens of celebrity things, but they were never hotly anticipated by me.
I could come up with a couple of celebrity things.
Can you?
Yeah. It's just Steven Seagal in general.
Breaking Bad.
No, Breaking Bad was good.
No,
I enjoyed Breaking Bad.
It really wasn't.
It was. Right, next question. Sammy.
Oh, hang on.
Go on.
When they did a sequel, you know, all of those 20-year later sequels they do, all of those are fucking letdowns. Apart from Blade Runner 2049.
I actually found that.
Hey, Sammy.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Most
Not
sequels.
happy,
are
Jim.
terrible. Why?
I wasn't the only one who said it.
Yeah, Jeff, you're this close to losing your scene, mate.
This close. You haven't lost it yet. I have a question. Is Jeff the bottom or the top?
I can't reveal those details yet.
I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling after the way it's been going, I'm going to be bottom bitch.
I have never been a top in my life, so if you're going to make me a top in this scene, it's not going to be real to life.
You think any of it's going to be real to life?
No, I don't think any of it's real to life.
In my fan fiction, Jan, everyone does all positions.
Oh. Well, I did own a double-ender strap-on at one point, so...
That does sound kind of fun.
They are. Right. Next question. Question 384. Should smoking be banned?
No.
And we're talking about tobacco here.
No.
As it is now, where you're not allowed to actually smoke in restaurants and things like that, but you can go outside and smoke. I'm fine with that.
You were talking about an out-and-out ban now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think the example of prohibition in the United States in the 1920s is a good example of why the fuck smoking shouldn't be banned.
Echo.
Right. Argue about this for a minute. Fix the echo. I've just got to go deal with something.
You see, I'm fine with the smoke. Right. That was where my point was. I'm fine with the smoking. You know, you got to go outside, but with one addition, I think smoking rooms should still be a thing.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that, especially those areas that, if they're built to regulation with proper fume extractors and things like that. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
There are I suppose technically outside, a lot of places do have smoking shelters, don't they? I mean, that varies from venue to venue. And we're echoing again.
I think you should.
So it's me. God damn it.
I think you should still be able to have a nice room with, big leather seats, wood panelled walls, and nice painting on the wall, and just people sit there in cigars and smoking jackets. Basically, I think
I'm guessing Badger only wants men in there because he wants a gentleman's club.
Why do I want a gentleman's club?
He wants weasels.
Well, you want
in
a Badger's club then?
I don't want other people in this place.
He wants a cupboard.
I want
big
it to,
cupboard
as soon
with
as
a
I
leather
go
chair.
in there. As soon as I go in there, they fucking lock the door.
You know what you actually need there, Badger? A
What's
padded cell.
Not a padded cell. A padded cell doesn't have wood-panelled walls.
It's got some of a nice,
and
nice,
leather seats.
a nice, comfortable armchair. He could put his feet up, light a cigar or smoke a pipe.
And they can lock the door behind him. Yeah, I totally agree.
And raccoons serving cocktails and cigars.
Yeah, why not?
Right. So, did you everyone agree that we're going to ban smoking?
No, we're not.
No.
balanced.
And I'm allergic to tobacco, so but no. If people want to kill themselves with tobacco, go for it.
Yeah,
I think we should
I think I'll throw
unban
I'm
things
going to
that
kill
have been
myself
banned.
too, Laura.
You can't kill yourself.
There are quicker ways.
Yeah,
Right.
honestly, Jeff, if you really want to go and kill yourself, go find somebody with COVID.
No, yeah, there's that. Well, see, the smoking will speed up the process for the COVID, or the likelihoods.
Or will it?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I'm not going down that route. Right, I'll go to the next question.
I
love
heard
your
from a
dick,
very
Sammy.
reliable source, if you put if you swallow a UV torch, but it'll sort you out.
Will it? Right, I've got one. And I reckon I could
Until
probably
you die of
swallow it.
colon cancer.
I reckon I could probably swallow it. Does it have to be on?
Well, yeah.
Would I get sunburn?
Well, but the bottom line is that's the same thing with anything. Banning it isn't going to stop people wanting to use it.
No.
What, the swallowable UV light?
Yes.
Cigarettes, Jen. That's the bottom line. Just create
Just
a
to be
massive
clear,
black
don't
market
swallow a
for
fucking
criminals.
UV light.
Yeah, I'm guessing if you swallowed a UV light, you'd end up with a bottom line.
Nerdy says you have to disinfect the UV torch first. I didn't think you did have to disinfect it first. I thought you had to swig it down with some disinfectant.
Yeah, and you'd have to disinfect it afterwards. For the next
No,
person.
I believe you're supposed to inject the disinfectant, Dave.
Oh, right.
Afterwards,
bad.
You're gonna have a really shitty UV light.
Yes. Although quite how the UV light going through the digestive tract is going to be useful to doing something in your lungs is beyond me.
Well, they'll just have to make you go inhale it instead.
Inhale the UV light. Get it into the lung. In which case, you're not going to need solid 2.
Well, why don't?
Yeah,
why don't
what they
just-
need is to find some sort of radioactive particle that, as it decays, it gives off UV light, and you inhale that, and
works.
that will kill the COVID.
Yeah, why rather than all these clever solutions, don't you just put somebody down, cut their lungs open, and UV the inside?
Oh, there you go. Practical solution as ever.
Perfect solution.
Right, next
Can
question.
anyone tell me? Oh,
Go on.
fine.
Go on, Sammy.
I know it's illegal in Australia to smoke in your vehicle with your children or any children.
Yes.
I don't know about in homes though.
Nope.
I'm wondering is there
people can
similar
smoke in
laws
their own
in
homes.
Britain? See,
No.
now that should be banned.
Why?
I don't believe in banning the use of any narcotic or drug. That should be completely up to the person. I do believe in banning tobacco use in situations like in your fucking home if you have children.
No, I disagree with that. I would be up for a ban on. You could ban on exposing them to your smoke, to your byproducts. But banning them in your own home because you happen to have children in the house, I think, is too far.
I'm of
That
the
makes sense.
opinion that
Yes,
the government
I
needs to
agree
keep
with
its filthy, stinky nose out of people's houses.
No, I
Exactly.
think the government has a
Have we made a
responsibility.
When did that
Children.
happen?
Say again? I keep
still
trying to
on
read the
podcast.
new question and people won't let me.
Oh, because I
So-
noticed that people in the comments were answering a question that I hadn't heard you ask.
Right. Question. Go on.
Child should be forced to go outside in all weathers every time I want to smoke.
Oh, Jeff.
Right. Question
I'm actually fine with that.
Doing my bit.
Yes. Question 385.
Fucking good.
Question 385. Have you ever accidentally said I love you?
Drunk, possibly.
Is that to a mate?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
You
No.
get drunk on six pack and tell everyone you love them. Jen.
Did I? Oh wow, that's cool. But I say it to people all the time. You know, like I say it at the "I love you guys" all to. It's not a
I know,
word that
but
I
you
have
just say
any
it a
problem
lot more
saying.
when you're drunk on six pack.
Do I? Okay. Well, yes. So I obviously have that.
Do you not watch your drunk streams back?
I do not.
I don't watch anything I make. Fuck that. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, back with that, Dave. I'm not a narcissist. I'm not.
deliberately.
I've got to admit, I know I've been drunk on a number of streams, so I have real issues trying to watch any of them back that I've been drinking on because I know I'm going to sound like a twat.
Mathpig says, I called my teacher mummy once.
I was gonna say I've never accidentally said I love you, but I have called my teacher mum several times.
I reckon everyone's done that though.
I've called my mum dad and my dad mum before, and it was not until sort of late when I was a smaller child. I tried to really awkwardly like work this into a coherent sentence rather than just say, "Oh, I meant the other one." So I'd be there. I'd say something like I'd say something like "Dad" when I was talking to my mum, and then be like, "Dad, is not here right now."
That's quick thinking.
It's fucking stupid. Is what it is.
Well, you
Nerdy-
are a badger. It must be really hard to tell the gender of your parents apart.
I'm still fucking embarrassed about that. I'm just there.
I'm sure they have their own gender gender clothing that identifies them. I have no idea what badgers
They
do.
once wear a little bow.
Oh, so
seen
I
that
mean,
in
if
the
your mum
cartoons?
didn't have her bow on, I can totally understand that, Badger.
Yeah. Julie said, accidentally said I love you. No. Regretted it. Yes. Nerdy says no.
Oh yeah, definitely that one.
Mathpig says he never drinks on streams.
Yeah. Liar.
So we've got Jeff only drunk to random people. Badger no. Jem when she's drunk. Sammy.
I don't even
was
say
gonna
it
say-
deliberately.
Shh. Sammy.
No.
No. Manda.
No. What the fuck are you laughing?
He doesn't believe you?
She asked this question, and we've had all these really in-depth answers for all the previous questions. So this one,
No,
everyone's
no.
just
No.
Right. It's
What
okay.
about you
We
guys?
have a good serious question next.
Dave,
Oh, no.
you didn't answer.
Probably.
Hey,
Almost
You
certainly.
wouldn't remember.
wait. In my defense, those are not words that I say I say them to Angel all the time. And I say them to my best friend or whatever, but they're not words that come out of my mouth very easily. So it would be difficult for me to just say it by accident. That's all I'm saying.
See, where is it?
I
Of
agree.
saying I love you is something I find very easy to say to people that I care about. So it's why I would say it if I was drunk on streams and things like that.
I almost never say those words ever.
I
I
would rarely say I'm similar. I wouldn't, you know.
Am
Over
I the
the
only
last
one who
couple of
wears
years,
my
I've-
emotions on my sleeve?
Yes.
no, Jen. I tell everyone I love them too.
Oh, thank you, Sammy.
So even if I ever did say it by accident, I still would have meant it. So
Yes.
does
Yeah,
that
well,
count?
I'm-
I've
that-
definitely said it
yeah.
at points at which I didn't think it was a good idea.
Those words may or may not come out of my mouth in Sammy's fan fiction. We do not know yet.
I don't feel that strongly that often.
Well, possibly all of those words, but not necessarily in that sentence.
Love you,
And
I.
some of them might be muffled.
You're saying all the right words, but not necessarily in the right order.
Right.
Yeah,
next
you know
question.
the old.
Don't know what you mean, Jen. You shouldn't be the one saying "I love you" in that situation.
Yeah, because technically I could be technically.
I don't have a gag reflex, so it's perfectly safe.
I love cigarettes. You those non-smoking bastards. See. Works.
Exactly.
Did you just say I love anal sex?
Damn
Ben,
it, Jen.
shut the fuck up.
Right. Next question. Question 386. There are approximately 3 chickens for every human Earth. When the chicken rebellion starts, what will you do?
Go to fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What? Because they're experts on killing them?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Oh, you got the big fat fryers. I'm sure we could keep them out for a while.
Yeah.
We'll put a whole heap of wicked wings on spikes and put them around the outside of the building.
No, I'm a badger, right? Eating people's chickens is literally what we do.
Mm.
Oh, well, so we'll go and visit Badger then, and he can defend us all.
We have Badger. We have to relate. We have to sort of raise a coalition between the Badgers and the Foxes. It's a pity that the Tories have got rid of so many of them. That's the problem.
See, I believe all you need to do is to grab the chicken by the feet and turn it upside down, and they become paralyzed. So it wouldn't be much of an apocalypse.
Put a little bag on its head.
Although you do get some really big chickens.
Don't know. Peter Griffin's been trying to get rid of that chicken for fucking years.
Well, if they're all that size, we're fucked. But
Yeah, I mean, there are chickens that come up, up mid-thigh height on people. So, I mean, yeah, you had enough
What?
of those, I'd be a bit worried. Yeah,
it's a
there's some
fucking
really
emu,
big chickens.
Jen.
Yeah, that just makes
It's an
it
emu.
It's more like a cassowary, actually, at that height. But,
that
yeah.
just makes them easier to sit on, though. They've still got spindly little chicken legs.
They do.
Yeah,
Do you think the
they've got
chickens?
Big-ass beaks.
Do you think the chickens would seek alliance with the cows?
Well, we'd end up with cows with guns.
Yes.
I don't think the chickens are smart enough to seek alliance with anyone.
They will fight for bovine freedom.
See, we just need to take to air defense.
The chickens have got
chickens would be
choppers.
Screwed.
The chickens have got choppers.
Well, we've got
Okay.
jets
Have you not heard cows with guns?
with missiles.
I know what Dave's talking about. I love that song.
Yeah.
Spooky says
Cows on buns.
yes.
I still think KFC and Nando's are going to be our biggest allies in this war.
I think they're definitely geared up. Spooky says, I for one
Oh,
welcome
yeah.
our new chicken overlords. Donnie says, I dream about giant chickens taking over the world quite regularly. Mathpig's talking about lobsters. What? The lobsters aren't taking over. That's a future question now. What will we do when the lobsters take over?
Math Pig's suggesting the
Yeah.
chickens and the pigs are going to unite. So
Lobster, rich man's chicken.
Rich man's chicken. So basically, the plan
Lobsters are
is to
just
head
big-
for fast
big
food
water
joints.
cockroaches, though.
Yes,
They
I
are.
know. Lobsters and crab, they're sea bugs. It's gross. It's just gross.
They're just
No,
woodlice.
what's wrong with eating bugs? I don't get why people are so paranoid about it.
Oh, because it's not something we eat. That's all.
Okay,
Because-
so
Yeah,
from
but
like,
so that's what
Why am I
because we have
still?
chickens to eat.
Yes, chicken tastes nicer.
Yeah, that's true. But
It's the same
only
as
because we're
Jen.
used
We
to
don't.
it.
Yeah. Oh, entirely.
We don't just.
Chicken.
But see, we don't just
Oh,
bite into a
we've got
raw cow, organs, fluids, and all either.
I
That's
do
the
find
thing,
it
the
funny
bug-
that when whenever they're demonstrating eating bugs, they demonstrate you eating the whole bug as is with nothing else. Like we ever actually
I
eat
always
them
find
like
that fascinating because if you were actually going to grow bugs for consummation, what the hell? For
What the
consumption?
hell are you consummating?
Jen.
If you're going to grow bugs for
Consumption.
consumption, you would process them to get the proteins out of them and like make meat patties from them and sausages and
I'd
things
like
like
that.
that.
You
A load
wouldn't.
of bugs.
Okay, if you wouldn't, you would
Blend
just
them.
grind them down and use them as flour.
Exactly. Powder.
Get a load of bugs, blend them a bit, make a nice burger.
Yeah. Future question. Would you
It's
prefer
a
giant chickens or
vitamin.
giant cockroaches? We've got giant chickens and we've got pretty fucking big cockroaches, to be quite honest.
How giant are we talking?
No, another day, another $1.
Well, chickens are
Chickens.
more valuable. We can eat them.
Mm.
So,
No, we
what
could
are
eat
gonna do with
cockroaches.
giant
Cockroaches.
Jen,
Chickens
you can
taste
eat
older.
cockroaches.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
that's so
it's the
honest.
weird
I was
thing
just
I
saying,
find
man.
about the food scandal that was here about us eating horses. We're having horse meat in our food.
What's wrong with eating horses?
Absolutely nothing whatsoever. But people are attached to them. It's the same issue
Yeah.
with eating dogs and cats and any other.
The issue I think with eating the
Snakes.
horses was that it was not written in the ingredients that there was horse in there.
No, because it was cheaper. That's the point.
But for me, it's about sort of level of at least perceived intelligence of the animal.
We
The
eat
more
pigs.
intelligent it is,
Yeah, we eat
the
pigs.
less.
Pigs are more intelligent than dogs. They're probably up there with dolphins. Pigs are really
But,
intelligent.
Dave,
Cows,
We're giving
dumb as
Matt
fuck.
Pig the biggest ego right now, Dave. You know that, right?
Yeah, but the point is, you can grill Math Pig's ego up, but just remind him he still could end up as a bacon sandwich.
He eats a lot
No,
of
we're
bacon.
waiting. We're saving. We're
that
waiting for the
how- is
summer
that
and the
the end of
lockdown
it?
to end, and we're having a pork roast.
Is that the end of the
Well,
conversation?
So here we go.
I guess you're right, Dave. If a horse tasted as good as a fucking pig, I would eat them.
So
Yes.
How do you know how good a horse tastes?
clip that.
I don't.
By the way,
If you've eaten a Tesco's lasagna from a few years ago, you might.
Yes. He wouldn't. It just take tomato.
He
The
wouldn't
point
'cause we
is-
don't have Tesco.
The point is, it's one of those weird things. What are the best meats for us to eat? From a lean meat
What?
is rabbit.
Venison, kangaroo, these are all good forms of meat to eat because they're very lean, they've got less carcinogens, they're brilliant.
sorry, am I the only one here troubled by the fact that Dave wants to spit roast Math Pig?
No,
Am I the only one troubled by that?
no. You don't need to.
No, but I think
Oh,
you are
thought that was already
you are
in
the
the
only
plan.
person. No, but you are the only person who's surprised by that.
And that's definitely going to end up in Sammy's fiction.
I thought it was. Yeah,
Look, all I want to do is eat him. That doesn't sound any better.
That doesn't sound right at all.
You want to eat Math Pig?
He looks like he's got some nice. Yeah. Right.
For fuck's sake, oh my god.
I'll just dig a bite. Next question. Matt Pig says, "Kick Jeff off now."
Fucking Dave, yo.
Why are people
I'm not the
so
one-
weird about eating cats?
Because they're
Not
pets.
much meat on them.
Fuck cat.
They're like rabbit.
Rabbit's the way to go.
Rabbits are pets. They eat rabbits.
Yeah, but people don't. Lots of people
Yeah.
don't. Look, because they're pets. They're cute, fluffy bunny,
Oh, rabbit's yummy though. I like rabbit.
and they
Rabbit's
breed
stew.
like anything.
Moving on to the next
Farming
question.
You're no longer going to have any vegan viewers, Dave.
That's.
I want to have a
That's
discussion with a vegan about the efficacy of eating meat.
With me.
Right. No, with a
Oh.
vegan.
I think you should have a discussion with me about it, Dave, because I think I have some opinions on it that you might find interesting. I'm going to add it to the list.
I can add it to the list. Excellent.
What does
We should just have a
badger taste
discussion show. What? What does what? What does
Badger
badger taste like? I do
Not
wonder.
that great.
Didn't know you were that flexible, Badger.
Salty. Right.
Tried, I can't reach.
Next question. Question 387. Would you prefer that all milk to be powdered or all cheese was hard as rock?
Seeing as I don't particularly like cheese, I don't, you know.
I'll go fucking two of them.
What? You'll have the two of them.
There's two of them that don't like cheese.
James is like, oh yeah.
There's lots of us that don't like cheese. There's lots of
No,
sane
there
people in the world.
isn't. You're fucking weird, yo.
You're so weird, not liking cheese.
I think actually I'd go for the rock hard cheese because I almost always melt my cheese before I eat it, so that wouldn't be so much of an issue.
It'd have to still be warm to be soft. As soon as it goes cold, it'd get hard again.
Yeah,
I mean, what
I'd
would
go
it
with the
do in
rock
your
hard
stomach?
cheese. Powdered milk over a long term would just, it's not the same.
The powdered milk tastes like you. It tastes like you're drinking dust.
it's
If the
it's
rock
gritty
hard
milk,
cheese
isn't it?
has to be soft to eat it, what's it
We can
do?
rate it.
I suppose it's going to stay warm in your stomach. You wouldn't want it to solidify, though.
No.
You'd have trouble
It
passing
would.
that.
You're going to say it would pass like a brick.
A more hard cheese, and you grate it up small enough and everything. It's fine.
But I mean, cheese constipates at the best of times.
I was going to say, I'm going to say rock hard.
My
cheese
experience
because
is
I'm not
completely
gonna
the
eat it.
opposite.
Right, Jeff, what was that? Say that again.
I'm just going to answer rock hard cheese on this because I won't be eating it, so
So,
I will
yes.
not be having powdered milk in my tea.
What about
Amanda.
UHT milk?
I'm fine with UHT milk.
I've literally just had a cup of tea with UHT milk. It's fine.
See, I don't have a problem with UHT, but I know people who do. They will
know, they're
only
weird.
drink full cream milk.
It
They're
tastes a little bit different, but it's fine. There's nothing.
Wait, you can have full cream UHT milk.
Yeah, I've got some.
Yes, but it still
downstairs.
tastes different.
Meh, not really.
A little bit. It does. It actually
It's like
does, Dave,
3
but
extra seconds of heat.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't have a problem with it. I always keep at least one thing of UHT milk in the house in case we run out of milk.
I got fucking loads of them at the moment after the milk shortage.
I am annoyed that they changed the dates. I used to live on UHT milk because when all I used milk for was tea, I'd just go and buy 12 litres of 12 cartons of UHT milk, and that could last me for a year. But all of a sudden, probably about 15 years ago, all the UHT milk, they started putting 6-month dates on it.
Does it?
I don't know whether or not that's
as
because
long as it did before.
No, well, I don't know. That's the point. I never looked into whether or not they changed something, or whether or not it was the same. It was the same, and it would still last 2 or 3 years.
Well, just leave it sitting there, and then at the end of 2 to 3 years, give it a go and see if you die.
It's the same, Dave. It's that the legislation changed that they had to now put dates on it.
Idiots. Manda.
Hmm.
Well, I drink almond milk because cows put a lot of strain on the environment. So
It would still be powdered almond milk. Although, what is almonds?
That's fucking weird. You can't just. I don't know. Yeah. Can you?
It says
powder
all
almond
milk to be powdered.
I don't know.
Amanda, where's the fucking nipple on an almond?
Fuck off.
Yeah, I actually have an objection to it being called milk because it's not milk.
What is it?
Are you guys done?
No, the
Yeah.
one Family Guy joke that I've enjoyed recently has been when they went to the shop and Peter just wanders off like, I'm going to go see what they've made into milk this week. He comes back with a carton of beans
I'm
milk.
trying to do something nice for the environment, and you fucking. You're just the.
Well, the
guy.
cows are there anyway, and they've got to be milked. I mean, once they're at that point, they need daily
No,
milking.
it's
So we
not.
If
may
you
as well
want to
drink
do
it.
something
Yes,
nice for the
yes,
environment,
breed
kill
more
off half a
cows.
dozen humans.
They breed more cows to have more dairy cows.
Yes.
So if less people drank milk and less people ate less beef, then it would be a lot better for the environment. I'm not
Yes.
saying stop altogether, but less is more.
No, agreed.
Why don't we just breed cows that that burp less?
Yes. Well, we are looking at engineering their
burping.
bacteria.
It's not just the burping; it's the amount that we have to feed them. In this
Yes.
country alone, over 25% of the grains and corns they go to fucking cows that we raise for slaughter or for dairy. That's a shit ton.
Mm.
Did you know that cockroach milk is a thing?
And
I
who is
do.
milking them?
Very small people.
It, like almond milk, should not be called milk because it's not actually milk. Cockroaches do not produce milk. It's more of it's a white
Paste.
proteinous fluid. Yeah, so it looks a bit like milk.
Are cockroaches really little
they're looking at
androids?
developing it for people who are allergic to normal milk, and it's very, very healthy.
I use tap milk.
Does it taste any good?
Yeah, it tastes of nothing.
Sorry?
Not fucking tap milk, you Nimbus
Yeah.
2000. Does the cockroach milk taste any good?
I have not tasted it. I imagine it wouldn't, so it would probably have to be flavoured.
Nesquik.
Yes.
Right, question. Right. Natty says powdered milk. No one likes hard cheese. Mathpig, milk is like ambrosia.
Just milk and cheese.
If they shave their legs, then maybe. I'm confused.
Who's making shaving?
Say again?
Who's
Yes, I'm
making
going to
shaving?
go powdered milk.
It looks
Dave,
like Mathpig.
I would skip what Natty says.
I haven't got that far down. No one likes hard cheese. I already said that. Julie, all milk powdered. I can't drink cow milk anyway. Mathpig says he's drunk 3 litres since 6 p.m. yesterday. I've drunk more than that since yesterday.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Mathpig, milk is like ambrosia. Oh, shaved legs again. Oh, no, scroll back. Robert says cheese is good. He's objectively wrong.
Oh, shit.
Natty, no hard cheese. Doc hard cheese was my nickname in college. What's he implying with that? Natty says, see, I rarely have milk.
Don't milky.
Sounds milky. So, Scummer, for the same reason as you, I said cheese. And I'm staying with powdered milk. Oh, there's Tony. Evaporated milk, and now I'm on powdered milk. Drink my coffee black so I don't care. How far back am I? I don't eat a lot of cheese, drink milk. Almond milk is the worst for the environment, look it up.
No.
That's Natty.
I'm just not going to look that up right now.
If you want to do something nice for the
Cockroach
environment,
milk,
eat a
I'm telling
burger.
Want to do something nice for the environment? What?
Don't have kids.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it.
All types of milk are
Really?
actually-
I mean, to be honest, what Natty said doesn't surprise me because the
No.
amount of processing you'd have to do to actually make almond milk or soy milk
But
could
it's
ultimately
not about what it is now. It's not about the balance now. It's about getting less. You're having less cows that we have to raise in our
Yes,
country.
fair enough.
That's why I do it. I
Fair enough.
understand that you have to process a lot of almonds or your almond milk. I get that. It's about
But you have to
big-
process a lot for the others.
What, Dave?
You have to process a lot for the others. Actually, having the animals and
Yes,
and,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. It's not just about, like what Jen said, the burps. It's about the feeding. It's about the housing. It's about the amount of land that they take up. It's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean that's what Natty was saying, that when you actually do the online research at the moment, it actually takes more resources to make the almond and soy milk than it does to
And
actually get
But
cow
I'm
milk.
saying it's about the bigger picture with the cows.
And the amount. And
No,
the
no,
amount.
I'm agreeing with you, Amanda, but I'm just saying there probably is a balance there that, it isn't just as simple as which one do you have.
There isn't
No,
as
I
much
know.
almond milking infrastructure currently.
Just trust me on environmental shit. That's all.
Right.
I do. That's what I'm saying.
I know you do, honey. Yeah.
Next
you do.
question. Yeah, let's go to a nice non-controversial one.
Oh god, so
Sorry.
we know it's going to be controversial.
It's like
Question
milk,
388.
Take my milk away, man.
Question 388. When is the use of military force justified?
Oh, fucking hell, Dave.
Well, I suppose the
When the
obvious-
outcome of it not being used is going to be worse than the effects of actually using it.
For who?
Everyone.
The obvious answer is in self-defense, but then it gets into the question of what exactly is defense. You know,
Who is deserving of defence in that respect? Is self-defence? If you've got a couple of thousand of your people on holiday in the north of France, and France decides that it's going to start randomly arresting them, are you justified in invading France to rescue your people? And then keep France?
If there's no other way to do it.
What's the point?
Yes.
What's the point of having an independent military, nuclear deterrent if you can't use it on the French?
Well, they shouldn't have fucking gone to France anyway. It's shooting shit there, and they're all grumpy.
We really need a French guest on the show at some point.
Just saying, guys, I'm half French.
Are you? Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yes, I am.
That's the old.
And is this too simplistic to say this? That what was the question?
When is the use of military force justified?
Okay, if in your example, Dave, if a country decides to start arresting those citizens, I believe if the country those citizens from own law is being violated in some way, that country does have the right to then go and defend its people from its own standpoint. And I think that's the best you can ever get.
Yeah, it comes down to the point of when does the actions of the first country that's arresting the people become interpreted as an act of war?
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly,
ideally,
which
the
is
first
what I
country
think
wouldn't
if
do
it
anything in the
violates
first
your
place.
own laws, that's as good as you're ever going to get, really.
Yeah. I mean,
Is if it
ideally, if
violated your
it's a
own
form
laws.
of oppression applied from one country to another, then they're technically, even if it's the police part of the state, they're technically using a military force on another country to start off with. So at what point does that actually become no longer a civilian issue, but a military issue and is technically an act of war?
Yes.
Hmm.
But we still want to trade and we're intertwined. Surely.
Yeah,
I mean, the question.
There'd been a whole heap of diplomacy that would go on before war, you would hope.
Right, quickly in the chat. Robert says to kick Trump out of the White House. Tony says lol, non-controversial. Natty says against paedophiles. Doc says after I fart. Mathpig says when I use it to destroy Sammy and Nerdy for making fan fiction. I think these uses of force might be a bit personal.
Yeah.
Who is deserving of defence? The children? Certainly, not the cows now. Tony says one doesn't require a justification for invading France. So if we're invading France, it's always justified. Good to know.
Yes, and from a part Frenchman, I will endorse that statement.
Can you surrender on their behalf?
Possibly. I believe if I ever go back there, I'll be forced to do
Join the Foreign Legion?
What does it mean? Yes.
Only
I
Tom.
made the joke
ridiculous.
earlier, but I'm gonna push. I made the joke. I know I made the joke about France earlier, but I'm gonna push back on what Tony said. You don't have to know a lot about the French. You think they're pushovers and just want to surrender all the time.
No. Historically, it doesn't. But I like the meme.
Not like that.
I like the meme. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun
Tom
meme,
says what?
and it's a fun meme about how the French actually are, is why the Brits don't get on with them.
Yeah, I mean the French have won more wars and battles than they've lost historically.
And they're really snooty about it as well.
We saved them, damn it! Twice. See, Tom says, when diplomacy has failed and lives are being lost. See, my problem with that is lives being lost. I don't think is the right line.
But this, yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying that's not a valid line. If lives are being lost, I think you're already gone way beyond the point, probably. At the end of the day, your country is its people and its assets. If no lives are lost, but they start blowing up your embassies, is that grounds for military intervention?
depends on
Yes.
depends on if it's a nation. Depends on if it's a nation state doing it, or
Yes.
you know. So you could get into an awful lot of politics like there. I'm not, I wouldn't necessarily endorse invading a foreign nation without just to get rid of like a
small one-page dossier. Will that do it?
You know,
Can I convince you with a small one-page dossier from a cab driver in some country?
From a cab driver.
I think he was a cab driver.
You mean the one about all this all those massive weapons of mass destruction?
You see, if they're threatening us, with something, is that grounds? If they've got a valid threat.
Godless. Is it racist to say that was a very British answer, Jeff?
No. So.
What was right? I missed the bit that was a very British answer. What is it?
Because to me, again, it's not only have they started bombing your shit, so yes, you should just defend yourself straight up. But again, it comes down to they've broken what your country's laws and ideals are.
But why should they have to obey your country's laws and ideals? I mean, we don't. Most of the Islamic world right now is killing off homosexuals. We're not. Well, firstly, we're not doing something about it. We probably should be. And secondly,
and again, that's against our ideals. And
yes, but my point is, does that mean that they've got a right to us for not persecuting ours? We're breaking their laws by allowing them to carry on their despicable behaviour.
Defense.
Yeah.
We're only talking about defense, not offense. And so they have every right to defend themselves if we...
yes, but they consider it
from
an
their
attack.
Standpoint.
They have repeatedly demonstrated that they consider it an attack when we teach their children that homosexual people exist and are allowed to exist. That they are taking that as an attack.
Yeah, that steps into another issue of immigration and moving into a country with different
No, I agree with you.
and-
But my issue is that you've got to define the point at which your laws should apply to other people as to whether or not you're willing to say that if someone is disobeying your laws against your citizens in someone else's country, that you think your behaviour towards them would then be justified.
No, see now, I think if your citizens have gone into another country and broken their laws, regardless of what their laws are, that was their choice to do that. So they've sort of forfeited that right to be defended.
What if the laws
and I
in
don't
that
think they
country are
should be.
unjust, though?
Then don't go to that country.
See, that's one thing.
I would agree with that sentiment, but what if you had to? What if you were going for humanitarian reasons?
Well, then that's a whole different story.
Take a
and
big
yes,
army
should
with
be
you.
defended.
Wars are never fought for humanitarian reasons.
Plenty of wars.
It's a valid point, though. I mean, if you might realise some of the risks, but still go there for humanitarian reasons, and all of a
That's a
sudden you're
different story.
by
Yep.
this regime. Shouldn't you be defended?
If there was
I
any,
think you should be if you didn't knowingly go into that situation.
You know, I've got some oil in my kitchen. I'm trying to keep that on the down low just in case America shows up.
yeah.
Are you offering to lather me up? Are you, Badger?
Maybe.
That maybe is the most erotic I've ever heard Badger sound. Right, I need to catch up on the chat. Because we are miles behind again. Oh crap! We're
Hang on,
really
Amanda
far
was
behind.
about to answer.
Go on,
Say
Amanda.
that.
Oh, it's fine. Dave does this to me all the fucking time. It's fine.
It's all your fault, Dave.
See, I prefer to get through the chat answers, then I can have the intelligent answer.
I can't stand my answers. That's why.
I want the intelligent answer at the end.
Oh, nice save.
I know, I'm good, aren't I? It's somewhat easier to trade with a country once you've defeated them in war. When diplomacy has failed and lives have been lost, that's where I was up to. Natty, I think any time an innocent group of people are under threat, you have a right to defend yourself with military force. Does that include if they're not your citizens? In which case, we should be involved in a lot more wars. I mean, do you know what? This is what really annoyed me about the Iraq War, more than anything else. The people that said we were going in there for humanitarian reasons.
Nope.
And that's a valid reason. That was a valid reason to go in. Humanitarian, good. I'm fine with that reason. But that's not valid if you're then ignoring all the other fucking places in the Middle East and around the world that have got things that are worse that you're completely ignoring.
Yeah.
Well, if they want to do something for humanitarian reasons, then I suggest they sort Israel out and get them to stop doing what they're doing to the Palestinians.
Yeah, but,
Yes, completely agree.
But there's humanitarian issues going on all over the world in places with no oil.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is my point. My issue, I have a problem with using humanitarian... I'm all for... I'm sorry about this. Right? I am all for intervening on humanitarian grounds. But it's got to be consistent.
Sorry about that.
But it's
Because
never-
a lot of
never
people aren't
Dave.
for
grounds.
force on that basis.
It's always about money in the
All
end.
I can
It's not
say
about.
is humans need oil.
I hear it's very profitable. Well, it was.
Oh, I'm muting. I'm not part of this.
I'm not all for intervening on humanitarian grounds often because the British Empire has kind of a, there's a bit of a bad history there of intervening on moral grounds in other.
No. Don't misunderstand me. I think the specifics. My issue is I have a problem with the inconsistency. I think the specifics about intervention should be very strictly defined.
Like, oh look, these people aren't Christians. We should invade them.
Exactly. This is my problem, and this is one of those things where I may well have a different opinion from an ideological point of view than I do from a practical point of view, because whether or not you can ever accurately, in a non-exploitable way, have intervention, in most cases, is iffy.
Well, technically, wasn't
So,
that the purpose of
what
the
do we
UN?
do?
And the UN is a wet sock.
Yes, but the UN had to be a wet sock to be inclusive.
Sock, it could very well be the cause of a lot of tyranny.
Yes. There's a topic for the list.
I don't want to be
Intervention.
forced to wear wet socks.
So, are we going to get...
Badger, list, intervention.
Yeah, all right.
Can we have one about the UN then? If we put
humanitarian
something on the topic
intervention
list?
Sorry, go on, Jeff.
By the way, so before you move on, did Manda get a chance to answer or not?
Oh,
We haven't finished yet. I haven't made it through the chat yet.
Well, hurry up, Dave.
Natty, you have the right to form your own militia. Here, because America. Why does the chat keep jumping on me? I keep losing track of where I am.
If McDonald's funds it, does it become the Mac militia?
Do you know who has the second biggest navy in the world?
Go on.
McDonald's? I don't know.
No. Have a guess.
Greenland.
No.
It'll be a landlocked country.
New Zealand.
No. It's not a country.
It's not a country.
The oil.
It'll be a corporation then.
Yes.
Coca-Cola.
No. And it might not be true now. It was true 15 years ago.
That
No,
company
it'll
that
be
makes
no.
Coca-Cola.
Is that a navy? But are we talking about a navy here, an actual navy, or
A navy is defined by number of ships.
Navy,
you know?
by number
Navy
of
is
ships.
defined by
it'll be
number of
one of the
ships.
shipping companies, but
Nope. Not one of the shipping companies.
No.
No, it wouldn't be a shipping company at all.
well, a cruise ship company.
Spooky's got it.
Yeah.
Is it? Disney.
It's not. I wouldn't necessarily call. I don't know.
Oh,
What
I
I'd call that
fucking
a navy,
knew that.
though, but
Did
I
you?
don't think I'd call that a navy.
I did, yeah.
How many ships does
Actually
Disney
did.
own?
Disney,
You
owns,
fucking
Disney owns
what?
cruise ships.
No, not just cruise ships. They've got a massive fleet for filming, and they used to have a lot more, I think, as well.
Wow.
Right.
So they just got loads of chips. Excuse me.
Disney can go fuck itself.
Yes.
And I heard them
so
in
they
Star
can now
Wars
defend
movies.
their new Star Wars canon, Badger, so you'll have to be very careful what you say about it.
I'll
I've
say
been-
what
well,
I fucking like because
when we have lots of
they
spaceships-
may have a big fucking navy, but
But they might invade your burrow.
Badger's
how the
set
fuck
is
are they
nowhere
going to
near
invade
the
a land fucking thing with a navy?
They'll use their
Don't know.
stormtroopers.
They might have.
They
Right,
might
right. Shut up, everyone. Manda. Finally, give us an intelligent answer.
No, because now it sucks. Just like if we're being invaded or our allies are being invaded and humanitarian reasons, I don't fucking know. But
See, I like that. Not one person mentioned your allies.
we have to
Say again?
stop trying to change other countries' like political systems and shit. That never works out well for anybody, and it's stupid. So
Yes, that's very true.
But
I
I'd
like
be
that you-
interested to see it done just once that wasn't for an ulterior motive.
It'll never
It's
happen.
always an ulterior motive.
I know it
Sammy.
will never, but I would love to see it.
Even the
Just to
first
see
and
no,
second
what
World Wars
the
had
result
ulterior
of
motives.
that would be.
I don't know. Well, that's not really intervention, is it?
Well,
Could it
first and Second
work
World
if the
Wars had
country
No.
was truly there for humanitarian reasons?
Okay, England getting involved in the Second World War was a response to what had already happened. That's interventionism.
See, I'm here for humanitarian reasons.
You're being humanitarian towards Dave.
See,
Towards humans.
Yeah.
see, Badger would
So
agree with me.
vegetarianism.
I think Badger would probably agree with me that so if it's done for humanitarian or reasons that there should have been an intervention against Britain for the badger coal. Would you agree with that,
Yep.
Badger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Why not?
Rescue all the badgers.
Yeah.
Right.
But aren't there too many badgers? Isn't that the problem?
No, there aren't too many badgers. The problem is that
The badgers are all
tuberculosis-
infecting people.
Shut up a sec. The problem
No.
is that bovine tuberculosis is transmissible between cows and badgers.
Then stop giving them TB.
Why?
They're giving us
Stop
TB.
kissing them.
Stop shagging them.
Yeah, stop shagging fucking cows.
It's not a fucking sexually transmitted tuberculosis.
That's what the badger in the room says.
But as we discussed earlier, though, less cows could be good for the environment. So I think the badgers are doing us a favour.
So we need more badger cow sex, is what you're saying.
If you're claiming that I have a conflict of interest on the badger cull due to being a badger, then you can't say shit about any war involving humans.
Don't know what you mean. Right, next question. Question 389. You buy a Mars bar. It's gone.
So I've just thought, we should just cull all the humans because they keep fucking the planet up. So, well, I'm a human. I don't like this. Conflict of interest.
Says the badger smoking a cigar and wanting special rooms made for him and liking his milk.
Well, the humans invented all those things, so it's your fault still.
Yeah, but you still want them.
Yeah, well, I've been indoctrinated.
Shush. Question 389. You buy a Mars bar at a self-service checkout for 50p.
Mm-hmm.
You put 50p in the machine. And you find there is 45p in the coin return slot. Do you take the 45p?
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
No issue with that
Everyone
whatsoever.
does.
Badger?
Well, obviously.
Manda?
no.
What
Sorry.
do you do with it then?
Just leave it. It's obviously nothing to do with you. It was probably there from the previous transaction.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So the next person that'll come along will just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to take it.
Yes, or you're just going to take it.
Or I'll just
You get a
have
Mars bar for 5p.
I'll just find if there's someone who's got 5p they could lend me, and I can get myself another Mars bar.
Yeah.
I think the more important issue is you're buying a single Mars bar.
Yes.
I've got a bigger issue. Why is it in pounds? And
Because I don't have a cent symbol on my computer.
I actually yearn for the day. I yearn for the days when the Mars bar cost 50p.
I know.
Say you bought something for $20, $25, and you put your $25 in, and you look down, and there's $20 in the change tin. Would you take the 20?
No.
see, I would if it's a machine.
So it's a
fault,
principle
because-
thing.
No, it was already
I
there.
wondered if it was just because it was only 45.
Right.
That's the
Amanda,
point of the question.
Bother to take it either.
Amanda, I got a question for you.
What?
What would you do?
I guess I just leave it there. I mean, it's not mine, so I'm not going to take it.
You see, I've got to say, I'll answer what I would do in both those situations. But the 45p I'd take. The $20, what's that worth now? About 50p? The $20 I would give to the staff.
Yeah, maybe that.
It would depend. If I knew the money wasn't there
See-
before and I thought the fault was from the machine, then I'd probably take it.
You don't
But
know.
the
You don't know
thing
when
is
it got there.
That money, but now belongs to nobody. That person will never come back and claim that money. And even if they do, how do you prove it was your money? If you give it back to that store, you're just lining pockets.
Nobody's going to be able to prove it's their money. That's my problem. It's like if you find $20
It's
on the ground.
nobody's money now.
Yes.
Take
Alright,
it.
I'm
Take
gonna-
the
I'm gonna
fucking
add
money,
something.
Manda.
I'm going to add something
No,
to the scenario.
because I prefer to not have any guilt about it.
I'm going to
That's
add
the
something
problem.
to the
Hey,
Okay.
I'm
I have
because
a
I would
story
still
for
have-
you.
scenario here.
I
Let's
would still
assume-
have. Shush! Wait. I would still have, in that situation, I would still have a pang of guilt, and I just find it easier to not have that. Now, I'm not saying I feel a massive amount of guilt, because I do agree with Sammy. It's not the shop's money, and the person whose money it is has gone. They're never going to get back. There's no valid reason for you not to take it on that basis, apart from the fact that it's not yours. And I would have a pang of guilt about that, and I just find it easier to not have that.
very admirable.
Having
Dave.
said that, like if this was somebody's wallet or someone's purse, I would go and take it in. I'd take it in and hand it in untouched, in the hope that they would find the owner, because that's.
Oh, I wouldn't
traceable.
see. I wouldn't hand it in. I would find the owner.
If I'm
So do
having
I.
a
If I could
transaction
identify
over
it.
a counter
To their
to
house.
somebody at a checkout and they hand me too much change back, I will be honest about it.
I will
I'll
be
also
honest until if
they
I've
give me
noticed.
enough.
I will be honest if I am within, depending on how much. I've been given too much change and I've not noticed till I've got home,
Oh no, I wouldn't go back.
and I wouldn't go back.
No, I wouldn't go back to that. But if
Hang
I'm
on. I
because
want
usually
Manda's
have my-
story.
Thank
Sorry,
you,
Amanda.
Sammy. So, my neighbor up the street was at the grocery store, and the woman in front of her had gotten, money back on her card, but left it in the machine.
Mm.
And my neighbor took it. She ended up getting arrested for it because it wasn't her money and she didn't give it back. So
No.
they technically said she stole it from them.
She
So,
did.
Yeah.
Technically.
Right.
Yeah, no, I've
hang on,
actually
hang on.
heard that happening here as well. But
Amanda.
I mean, that's different. If you actually saw the person doing it, I would go after the person and give it to them.
Amanda, can you
Yes.
describe the
I've done that.
scenario of that again? Because I missed a bit. Cut me off.
No.
Where was
What was
the
your
money?
What was your
ATM,
question,
did
It
Badger?
you
was
say?
in the machine because when you go like
What
to-
kind of machine?
whatever,
An
you card in
ATM.
and get back. The woman in front of her had done that, left it in the machine. She forgot it, and my neighbor took it. They ended up
Okay.
arresting her for it because they said she stole it because she didn't give it back or go after
Right.
her or whatever.
I'm gonna add a variable to the scenario, which is kind of based on your story, Amanda. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that I can see I saw who last used the self-service machine, and I can still see that person in view.
I would
At that
scream.
point, I would say, "Hey, you forgot your change."
Yeah.
Yeah, as would I.
Yep,
But if
so
there's
would I.
nobody there, it's been sitting there for if it's been sitting there for a period of time, then
If you've sat there and
it's
waited
probably-
for that person to be gone for at least 10 minutes.
in that case, I wouldn't do that because I would know that person, that was their money. Aside from that, you couldn't show up to an ATM where somebody has left the money inside the machine because the machines roll the money back in if it's left too long.
Okay.
Go on, Badger. What was your scenario?
Well, that was my scenario, but
Oh, fair enough.
to add to that, if I was in a shop and somebody had left their money there and I could still see them, then I would say, "Yeah, your money's still here." But if I did not see who put the money there, who left the money there rather, and I can't I have no immediately reasonable way of figuring that out, then yeah, I'm just going to fucking pick it up. Because
Well,
I'm not leaving
last
it for the shop.
question, Manda.
Okay.
Why is everyone else asking questions?
Don't
No.
know.
It's interesting the pang of guilt of leaving it in the tray, but you're walking along the street and a $20 bill blows past in the breeze,
Yeah, I'd probably
you
pick
take
that
it?
up. Yes.
Yes.
and there is no difference. It's not
Yes,
your
there is.
money.
I know.
But
you-
now,
you don't-
Sammy.
Well, this is directed at Dave too. So why
There-
the pang of guilt if it's in the money?
Because it
You
is
can give
technically
it back
possible.
to the people at the store in case somebody comes back for it. Then, if it's just blowing in the breeze, nobody has it. It's just gone.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
a
nobody's
technical
at that point.
possibility that it could be returned.
Yeah.
And the
It's
£20,
about
it's
getting it back to the person who it is. But if it's just out in the breeze, it's nobody's. If it's the store in the machine, you can give it back to the people at the store, like Dave said. If somebody comes back and says, "Hey, I got $20 out or whatever, and I left it in the machine," and they can come back and get it, and it's theirs.
The problem is I have with that is I know plenty of people that have worked in shops that just pocket the money and money and things that happen.
Yeah, see, I'm with Dave on this. I know that happens too.
there's no way to prove the person coming back actually is the person who left the money there.
No, but there is a reasonable expectation that if someone says I left £15 worth of change there, and the £15 was handed in, there is an expectation that was probably the person. You're right. You can never actually prove it is cash.
Angel found a phone on the side of the road, brought it back, sat there and waited for someone to call, and we told them where we were so they could come get it.
Yeah.
So
And it wasn't Walter White.
no, it wasn't Walter White.
Right, so quickly in the chat. Oh crap. Tony, you find a safe with $3,000 in it, and your name is G-Man. I feel there's a story there I don't know.
Okay. I once found a driving license on the side of the road.
You should return it to DVLA.
Well, what I did was I looked the person up on Facebook and just posted it.
That works. Yeah. Don't know how much 45p. I could have just said 45 currency. Math Pig, last month shop assistant missed an item at £4. I noticed and said nothing. I wouldn't say anything either about someone else. None of my business.
Do British licenses not have the address on them?
Actually, I think they might do.
I
can't
don't
remember.
actually think they do. Let me
I have to go and check.
I will tell you.
Go on.
They mustn't if you had to look him up on Facebook.
It just never occurred to him to look on the driving license other than the name.
It
It does.
I thought
I'll
so.
see why I looked them up on Facebook. Because I wanted to tell them that I had it so that they wouldn't go and report it as missing.
Yeah, makes sense.
So then I could just say, I've got it, I can send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you wanted to contact them.
Yeah.
Robert says, yes, and to silence my conscience, I donate them to Dave. Who am I kidding? I've got no conscience. 75 cents. Take Natty would
What
take
is he
it.
donating?
The 45p.
The 45p from the
The
shop machine.
question. The question that we were answering. Natty, we're only by law required to turn it in if it's 100 or more. Didn't know that.
In
the States.
Now, how's your pang of guilt, Dave?
Oh, if it's an ATM, that's stealing. Oh, well, if there's I don't know, because it would depend what it was in what the actual law was. If there was no expectation of you handing it in, I'd just take the fucking thing.
Yes.
Doc, I'm not very morally upright, you know. I just get guilty.
It's 45p. I don't fucking.
He's more horizontal.
Morally horizontal. I like that. Doc says, "I take
get Manda to the dark side."
To the dark side. All you've got to do is get her a dark sword.
Particular instance, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Dark said, "I take the 45p, but keep in mind to help someone later with the 45p or more. It's just a few cents. No one's there. Okay."
Manda, you're not gonna conquer the galaxy as Dark Lord of the Sith if you feel guilty over 45p.
See, Mathpig says, "I would not steal from a person, but a corporation is a different story." The problem I have with that saying that, right, I wouldn't steal from a person, but I'd steal from a corporation, is, especially when it comes to shops in retail, very often, if the till is out, it's the person that suffers, not the company.
Okay. I've got a question for you, Amanda. If you're in the to have fined 45p, you'd have to be in the UK. So what if you were absolutely busting to go to the toilet, you had no change on you, and then you found that 45p?
Why do you need the change to go to the bathroom?
Because all our bloody lose and they'll pay
money in the UK.
No, not all of them. No.
More and more of them in the last few years.
Yeah, more and more of them.
The ones
in train stations in London, but
the ones that cost money.
How is that
we tend
not
to piss on
against
the law.
human rights?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Because councils are stupid and have had massive amounts of funding cut, and they don't. It's either that or close the loos.
Which they've done in quite a few places.
We've lost loads. Pretty much
to
all
be
public
honest,
services.
Probably wouldn't pay for you to have a tinkle.
I think it's 20p.
Is it 20p?
Is there a slight? Yeah, I mean, they haven't. I don't think they quite introduced sliding scales for what for a wee or a shit or whatever yet. So.
To be fair, okay. To be fair, I want to point out here that especially where I am, all the loos now take contactless cards. So
I don't have a contactless card.
Hey, wave my pee away.
I don't possess a contactless card, so I still can't go for a piss.
My God, that it'll measure the amount of waste soon and charge you accordingly.
No, it won't. All right.
Hold it in. You gotta
Robert
know
says,
when to hold it.
No. If I would find a briefcase with $1 million, I would give it back. You'd have to give $1 million back.
Back to who?
Well, you hand it in. Because the problem is $1 million is hard to hide. They will be looking for it. Someone loses $1 million.
It's $1 million, like a couple bricks of coke. Would you want that back? And
I don't know how it is in the rest of the world.
And bearing in mind, it's not going to be somebody who wants it.
Yeah, but I don't actually know how to sell cocaine. So if I found a whole load of cocaine,
sell the cocaine. I'm saying just leave it the fuck where it is and walk away. Do not touch that shit.
No.
I think it's easy enough to sell. It's just the legality of it that's the issue.
Yeah.
You may as well just shove it up your nose.
I don't know anyone who wants cocaine. It's not something.
You'd be surprised that once you went down to the local pub and started telling people, how many people would come and find you.
And then how quickly little boys in blue would come and find you.
Yeah.
I'd be more worried about the people that were already trying to sell cocaine, to be quite honest.
No, that's true.
No, if I found cocaine in a suitcase, presumably I have already opened the suitcase to know there's cocaine in it. So at that point, unless I was already wearing gloves, my fingerprints are now on the suitcase. So at that point, it's kind of beneficial to me to go.
You wipe
Hey,
them
police!
off.
I found some cocaine.
It's not like, you put your fingerprints down and they're there forever. You can fucking wipe them off,
Or I could just say, "Hey, police! I found some cocaine."
Yeah, good luck with that. Go ahead, Badger. Have fun with that.
How did we get from a Mars
In
bar
regards to the
I know!
to a bloody suitcase of cocaine?
Because Sammy wants to know
it
what
was a
man does
suitcase of
prices.
$1 million, and I would actually, even with the $20, I would return it to or give it to the police. In Australia, anything you return to the police,
You get back.
that's legal. So obviously not cocaine. You get back after 3 months if no one claims it.
You'd be surprised how often police claim it. Well, that was mine.
I like Tom Leach's answer.
I find $1 million. I'm definitely returning the suitcase of $900,000. I mean, how could I not return a suitcase of $800,000? I mean, $700,000 is a lot of money. I mean, someone's going to miss that $600,000. Right, next question. Question 390. What food combination do you want to ban?
Pineapple and pizza.
I fucking knew it.
Yes, thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Pineapple on almost anything, actually.
Cheese on virtually everything.
Can we just outlaw pineapple?
Please, can we outlaw pineapple?
I tell you what, I'll do you a deal. We can get rid of pineapple if we can get rid of cheese.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's,
not
right.
fair.
That's a fair deal.
Yeah.
Okay, how
We have
about
just
limited?
successfully made pizzas extinct.
All right, how about we have a new kind of we just split society so people who like pineapple can go and live over there.
Who aren't pineapple.
And the rest of us who enjoy cheese can stay where we are.
Yeah,
We suggest him some sort of
Yeah, I
camp.
like the sound of that.
yeah, a pineapple
Yeah.
camp.
Pineapple camp. Where those poor souls can be looked after.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
But we'd call it a concentration camp, but that's got
Oh.
bad connotations.
well, you can there's pineapple concentrate. So
Jed.
what's the issue?
Right. Good combinations to ban. Manda.
I don't know. I'm really picky. I hate onions and I hate peppers, so both, I guess.
Not together. Or all the time. Oh, it wasn't just which food to
that's
get.
on like everything though. So
Mandy, you didn't say the obvious answer.
Which
French
is
fries stroke chips with mayonnaise.
oh yeah, that.
Oh, that was
yes,
going to be
definitely
my
that.
answer.
You can try and ban that, but I'll be running the underground because that I know how to sell.
Natty says mac and cheese and ketchup. Mathpig says peanut butter and on banana sandwiches. I don't want you to do
That's
that.
Banana
not a thing,
sandwiches
Matt.
are so disgusting. How do people eat that?
I think we
I
should
think
ban.
peanut butter's disgusting as well, but
I think we should ban spreading Disney on Star Wars.
Tom says shredded carrots in tuna salad, grapes in chicken salad, apple in macaroni, fruit in salad. To be quite honest,
See,
Yeah,
none of those things are things, though.
they might be where he comes from.
Cinnamon in scotch.
I didn't know you had cinnamon in scotch.
Oh, you can buy cinnamon in scotch. It's not pleasant.
I know
Why would you want
I know
to?
they've done it in bourbon. I didn't know they'd done it in some scotch.
Yeah, you scotch and bourbon. You can get it in both, and it's not pleasant.
what about No, it's gone.
Gin,
Doc,
gin,
Doc,
gin
Doc
and
says
tonic water. Gin and tonic both are objectively disgusting.
I can't remember what
Gin
gin
is like
tastes like.
having your tongue bashed around by a piece of rotten wood.
Doc says I want to ban pork and anything. I'm biased. I hate pork.
Think maybe Mathpig's the new best friend.
I want to ban sprouts with chicken.
Just ban
we
sprouts.
just-
All.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I was just trying to get round, you see.
You're trying to get around the thing by.
Are you
Banning
talking
it-
Brussels sprouts, are you?
Yes.
Those people from Brussels have a lot to answer
Oh.
for.
Yes. Actually, there are some quite nice little things. Sprouts that aren't Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. The little sprouts, the ones that smell like cum.
Do they?
What about bean sprouts?
Apparently,
Apparently. But you seem so sure.
Come, have you been sniffing?
when we
Sammy?
were in school, we had to read a book called Lockie
No, I don't
Leonard.
want to know where the story's
And
going.
he had his first wet dream, and he had to sneak his blankets out to the laundry and wash them before his parents woke up.
Mhm.
And it smelled like sprouts.
Did he actually have to do that? Or could he have just not
No.
done that?
I imagine he was just embarrassed.
Natty says, I want to ban fish and chips if you all
Realise,
don't
like,
quit.
things like that happen. Why are they embarrassed?
Because they're taught to be. They're taught that it's shameful.
Okay,
Oh, let's see.
I don't get it. But, hey,
I don't mind the fish and chips thing, Natty, because I'm not a big fan of fish, but I'm not banning battered sausage. That's not going to ban that.
That's
I
guilty-
don't agree
that's
with
my
banning
guilty
sausage.
pleasure.
I mean,
That's my
I'm
guilty pleasure.
pansexual, so I don't agree with banning sausage at all.
Battered one.
Right.
Battered,
Last
Wait,
question.
you ones are
Sausage.
covering over them.
Battered sausage in that
Very
context is just BDSM.
Really
think I need
bugs
to
me.
shut up.
It really bugs me when they talk about CBT.
Why?
What?
Why? Because it's two different things that I know about that use the acronym very differently.
What's the non-sex one?
Cognitive behavioural therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also the called the compulsory basic training thing, CBT for riding a motorcycle when you
Didn't
set
know
that.
something. Yeah,
Riding a
Hang on, what's the
motorcycle.
sexual meaning for it?
Jen we'll have a long talk one of these days, all right?
Yeah, but
Badger.
riding a motorcycle can also do the sexual one if your saddle's too hard.
Okay, right. Okay, you found something I'm innocent about. I actually don't know what this is.
CBT, cock and ball torture.
Oh, yeah, no wonder I don't know what it is.
It's
I was waiting for
Jen,
Badger to
have
say.
cock and balls, and I don't know what it was.
Right.
There's like a meme going around at the moment with one of those like Microsoft Sam readings of the Wikipedia article for CBT.
Is there?
I don't know what I'm more disturbed about, what that actually means, or the fact that you three actually knew what that meant.
I know what virtually every acronym means, in terms of sex.
Dave is an acronym guy.
No, I just read a lot. And have a lot of wild and varied interests.
He's got to make up for the lack of action.
I just have quite specific and odd interests.
For the
This
record, I
explains
have
why he wants to read
absolutely,
your fan fiction, Sammy.
I have absolutely zero interest in CBT.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Interesting.
That was the problem.
When you've tried it, you can say you've knocked it.
Yeah, that's what, I haven't tried it, therefore I'm not going to knock it.
Tom says
I like
CBT
the
is
definition.
a chicken, bacon, and tomato sandwich. But we call that BLT.
That works.
No, BLT is bacon, lettuce.
No, what your
It's in
BLT?
his dongle.
Oh, I don't know sandwich
And
abbreviations.
can I just say you haven't
There's
tried
no
it
sex
in
reference
non-fiction,
to
Joe.
Say that again? I haven't tried it in non-fiction form. Fantastic. Right, the last question. Question 390.
Go.
Question 391. Would you rather have bananas for fingers or fish fingers for toes?
Yeah,
Fish fingers for toes because you can
Fish
survive
fingers for
without your
toes.
toes.
What?
They would grow back
You
every
can
day.
type that your fingers, but I'd rather keep my fingers. Thank you very much.
What
My thing-
question is this?
Well, my fingers are the atheist's worst nightmare.
So that's 3 for fish fingers.
His Ray Comfort's not as good as his Jar Jar Binks.
It fucking took me a second.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just considering how erotic that whole thing was of Ray's. Yeah, that's almost a threat.
Fuck it, I'm going for fish finger
My
toes because I've already got fucking ingrown toenails. So if we switch them for fish fingers, then that problem is solved, and I can still type.
Dogs and cats are going to chase your feet around.
I could just
You always
fucking
have to
fish
amputate
fingers.
the fish fingers, that is.
Well, monkeys are going to try and eat your fucking fingers, Dave. So
How many monkeys do you find in
6
your
of one,
neighbourhood?
half a dozen of the other.
Plenty.
Plenty.
I don't know how many fingers you've got, but I've got more than 6.
What? Where did that come from?
I'm confused.
I'm very confused. You're a cartoon character. Badger, where did that come from? Why did you just announce that you had more than 6 fingers?
Well, he says 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So I said, well, I've got fucking more than 6. I've got more than 6 of both.
Tom says, I
Exactly
feel like
12.
Tom says, I feel like I could make more money with banana fingers in the porn industry than fish finger toes that I hide from the world.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Interesting point.
Natty says, well, damn, I'd have to go with fish finger toes because I'm allergic to bananas, so that would be a singular hell. Every time I go to scratch my face, I break out in hives.
Kill me.
Kill me.
You definitely proved quite well protected against COVID, though.
But if you eat your own banana fingers, is that it? Are you
No,
just
they
gonna
grow
walk
back
around
the next
with,
day.
like, oh, then
They grow
maybe
back.
I do want the banana fingers.
Right, same with the fish
I like-
fingers. You eat the fish fingers, they'll grow back the next day.
So you can feed your cat for free.
Yes.
Problem now. There's problems. There is problems with this. You're gonna have to like thaw to sort of thaw out and then cook fish fingers. But it's peeling the bananas. I think could be a lot more difficult.
Would you not snap them off first?
Well, that raises the question,
What
Jeff. Are they frozen?
When you've snapped all your banana fingers off.
You have to get someone else to do it for you.
No. There's a
I mean, you
lot
could probably-
of interaction in this area, I don't know about.
Yeah, the bananas came out the middle, and you can.
And that's a whole different superpower.
Yeah.
There's a lot of social interaction in the fingers scenario that I don't like, so I'm still going with the toes.
Yeah, I'm going with the toes.
I'll go with the toes. I think. Yeah.
Doc said, this is obviously a trick question. Fish don't have fingers. If I ate them, I'd go into shock. Sammy.
I was gonna go the toes so I could have my fingers, but then I had visuals of all of you eating your fish finger toes, like lifting your feet up to your face and just munging on your feet.
Eat them.
And yeah, I guess. Yeah,
When your
alright,
fish
I'll go
fingers
the
are
toes and
smelling
keep
as
my
bad as
fingers.
they can.
I use my
Yeah,
fingers a lot
smell
more
might
than
be an
toes.
issue.
And you might find fluff as well.
Yeah, I use my fingers a lot more than my toes, so I think I'll just.
But having said that, wiping your ass with a banana just doesn't seem friendly.
Anything that replaces my current toes is probably a benefit.
You just want to get rid of that ingrown toenail.
There's more than one.
And are they going to be toe-sized, or are you going to have like actual massive fish fingers hanging?
They're
up
going to
into
be
your foot?
about 30 centimetres.
That is
No,
a good point.
10
30.
centimetres.
That's a bit
Sorry.
like
Sorry. I was going to say
What
3
kind of
inches.
fish fingers are you eating?
About 10 centimetres. I tried to translate 3 inches into centimeters, and the 3 stuck in my head.
So you're never going to be able to wear shoes. You're going to have to wear
You wear shoes? They'd be like clown shoes.
flip flops.
No, you can wear normal shoes. Fish fingers are not that durable. Just stuff your feet in them.
Oh, but that's your toes.
If you wouldn't feel it, I mean, don't say you can pull your fingers off to eat the bananas, so you're not going to feel that. So
There's no nerves in fish fingers.
yeah.
Manda.
It's okay to eat fish.
Sorry.
Plus, I like shoes a lot too. So I don't think I could give up wearing my shoes.
You don't want to get around in clown shoes, Manda?
No, not really. I like my shoes. Sorry.
I mostly wear sandals or thongs. So I'd be fine.
No, I have pretty shoes, so I'd rather keep my feet the way they are.
You'd rather have pretty shoes than be able to handle anything.
Yeah, I'll get angels to handle everything for me. I don't care.
Hey,
I mean, technically, you could have a good masturbation session with banana fingers.
Oh,
So
I don't reckon that'd work. It might. Sammy's echoing.
I love the echo.
Oh,
Right.
Okay, Dave, why would it work?
Well, it might do. And I was trying to work out where you would be able to bend your fingers.
I don't think you would.
Well,
Do
that's
you
my
need
point.
to?
Well, you do if you want to. You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
You're picturing a different kind of masturbation to the kind that's being talked about here.
Yes, I think I might be.
Let's talking from mine and Amanda's perspective, not from yours.
No, I was thinking about from your perspective.
So, what? Hang on. Why is this a problem?
Because I don't
talking
think-
about rubbing the man in the boat.
I don't think you'd be able to get. I don't think it'd be good for penetrative unless you could.
No, moving on.
We're now, I would just like to point out here.
Next question. We're done. Let's go.
I would just like to point out that we are now discussing the logistics of masturbation while having banana fingers.
and you realize most penises curve.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I'm talking about bananas.
So what's
And
the problem?
Right, we're done for a day.
And on that note,
And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much to Jeff. Thank you very much to Sammy. Thank you to Manda. Thank you to Badger. Thank you to Jeff. We should see you tomorrow. Tonight, I need to point out that MathPig has got... Crap, it's gone. Who's
Holy
MathPig got
Kool-Aid.
tonight?
Holy Kool-Aid.
Holy Kool-Aid. There we go. MathPig has got Holy Kool-Aid tonight. And tomorrow, as well as our normal show, I have got speed questions with Lucy Luxor tomorrow night. Tomorrow night for me.
So questions about speed.
No,
Oh, I knew you'd do that, Dave.
she thinks she can answer the first 100 questions that we did in less than an hour.
Yeah, that'll be hilarious.
I think it's certainly possible.
We shall see.
if it's just
I'm
one
not
person,
convinced.
you won't-
I could read the first 100 questions in less than an hour.
You're gonna have to like do speed thing and not give any pushback on any answers, Dave.
No, I'm gonna have to. She's gonna have to clarify certain answers because certain of them need clarification.
Yep.
I mean, there are debates here as to how many questions she can manage. There are people arguing as to whether or not she could do 3 a minute.
Yeah.
I think this is going to come more down to your ability to read quickly than to answer quickly.
Exactly.
Well, not all the questions are yes/no answers. So answering that many questions that quickly, I don't see how she can do it.
Well, we shall see. I think she'll be able to do some very quickly.
We'll do some.
Oh, I do too. We
gonna
would be able to do them too if you would accept our freaking answers. Blame
No.
Dave.
Blame Dave. No, blame MathPig. It was his idea. No idea what was his idea, but it was his idea.
Well, he's in the chat, so we can't blame him.
Well, anything could be his idea once the fan fiction's done.
Yes. MathPig reckons 50. What, 50 a minute or 50 in the hour?
50 in the hour. I reckon MathPig's about right.
I think you should read 50 questions a minute.
You think I should read 50 questions? Done.
Yes,
but
no,
you
yes, no,
have to
maybe in with
coherently
a
say each
dog.
syllable.
I have to coherently say each syllable. Should we try this? Should we try today's questions?
Yeah, do it.
Right, wait there. So you got to watch. Someone's going to time it.
Let's go stop. Let's just stopwatch on here.
Yeah, okay. Somebody who
And-
does.
And Dave, I'll speed answer.
Okay, we'll
I'll
do
be
5
Lucy.
questions.
Lucy!
You ready? Someone?
So I've got to,
Yep.
right. Okay.
Oh.
Right. Question 382. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you at a funeral?
I died. Next.
Question 383. What hotly anticipated event or moment was the biggest letdown?
Disney Star Wars. Next.
The year 2000.
Question 384. Should smoking be banned?
No. Next.
No.
Question 385. Have you ever accidentally said, I love you?
No.
I've never deliberately said it.
Question 386. There are approximately 3 chickens for every humans on Earth. When the chicken rebellion starts, what will you do?
Die.
Grab as many as I can and hold them upside down.
Stop the clock. How long was
40,
that? That was,
46 seconds.
that's 5 questions.
And that was with 2 people answering as well. I'm pretty sure.
Right. So I reckon that's only going to be
See?
6. That's 6. We could do 6 a minute.
With no pushback from you.
No. No.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to push back because your answers were... I would have argued with some of those if I was trying. Why would
Yeah.
you hang the chickens upside down, for fuck's sake?
I don't know. I
Because
reckon
they're
you could grab the
paralysed,
chickens by the
Dave.
legs and start beating the other chickens with them.
I think
Yep.
you could probably only realistically pick up about 4 chickens, and at that point, the rest of the chickens are going to give you some trouble.
Yeah.
I have a theory that
And-
if you play the song Surfing Bird, that they'll all start dancing.
And the name of
You get
the
a big
quiz
screen and you
isn't
play Chicken Run for them.
Dave's
Right.
crap quiz, but the answers must be explained in full and must make sense.
Yes. Well, this is the proviso. If they don't make sense, I'm not going to go to the next question.
Yeah.
So I think,
she's
like I
not
said,
gonna
I
be
think
able
some are
kill
going to
it.
be very quick, and I think some are going to be very slow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, I hope.
Well, on top of that, we'd already answered those questions, so we'd already had time to think of answers. She hasn't.
Yes, that's very true.
Unless she's gone back
But
and seen
when the
first 100
question
questions.
is, would you prefer to have ants with force fields or
She's just gonna pick one.
bananas for fingers? You want serious answers?
No, but she's just going to pick
Yes.
one to go quick. And I can't
How
really
could you
dig
have
into
a-
that.
How could you have a serious answer to those questions we just that question we just answered?
Right, I need to say goodbye to everyone that's watching again.
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.